I've had the S23 Ultra for a week now, and there's quite a few things I like about it, but I want to talk about my favorite things because everybody's seen a lot of videos now. We've talked about the phone, but I want to talk about the favorites because that's the stuff that I think, one, it keeps me coming back to this phone, picking it up, having my SIM card in it, and, well, I enjoy it. So the first thing is the battery life. Now, I made a whole video talking about how the battery life is fantastic. Getting like 8 hours of screen on time with this, it's a real deal. It's fantastic. They have made some significant changes here, all thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, maybe some tidying up when it comes to One UI 5.1, but overall, it's really good. It's probably the best flagship phone for battery we've had in the last year. It is, I think, better than the 14 Pro Max with the iPhone department. Not the 13 Pro Max. The 13 Pro Max, still, even after iOS 16, is still performing better than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So, everything considered, I'm using always on display. I've got dark mode on. I'm not using it in light mode when it comes to the performance settings. And I've got 120 hertz, Quad HD Plus. I keep the brightness on manual mode. I turn it up pretty high. And yeah, 8 hours screen on time, a little bit of gas left in the tank is fantastic. The second favorite thing is I absolutely love it with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. And I've been wearing this again the last week. This is probably my favorite watch. Now, I love the Apple Watch Ultra, but there's just something about this round design that's on here. The ergonomics, the band is so lightweight, and it works really well. Several days of battery life. I really don't use it with other phones, just with the Samsung ones, and having this with my SIM card, toting this around, has been really enjoyable. So it's given me another reason to put my Galaxy Watch 5 Pro back on, and I think it's a great watch. If you're in the market to get one, I didn't have the Watch 4, I barely messed with the Watch 3 Frontier. I haven't used Galaxy Watches very much. I'm just not a big fan of wearables, period, but I've kind of dove in a little bit. I got the Apple Watch Ultra. I love it. It's great with the Apple products. It's great with the iPhone. It's not really great with Android. So in the Android department, even though I have the Pixel Watch, and there's some things I like about it, it's just not good enough battery life-wise to be a daily driver for me. So this is a great pair. Galaxy Watch 5 Pro combined with the S23 Ultra is fantastic. And you can probably see this cool case I have on here. Cool, pun intended. It's a like cryo armor case, I believe, with Spigen. It's about 20 bucks. I like it a lot. It's actually got a graphene or graphite pad inside of here that helps wick away and reduce the temperature on your phone, which the S23 Ultra is not really getting all that hot. I mean, that's not really been a big topic of discussion, but what little heat it does produce, this helps wick that away. This nice hexagonal pattern design, you can see the gaps in between it, even where the buttons are at, extra opening around that. It's modified, set up for airflow. You want to get air in and around your phone, you want to reduce the temperature. It's really cool. Again, pun intended. It's a cryo, I think it's called cryo armor. And then it's got the reduced area here, recessed area cut out for the cameras, keeps those protected, raised bezel protection on the front. Solid case. I got a link in the description if you're interested, but I bought it. It looked cool to me. I thought I'd try it out, and I like it. It's a nice kind of contrast to my leather case. I love the leather case for this. So, back to the favorite things that I like. And again, that's not an advertisement. Spigen doesn't give me any money. I bought the case with my own money. I'm just sharing it because I think it's a good case. So, third thing, the extra storage. So I get the 512 model, but everybody who buys this minimum gets the 256 baseline storage. That's a lot of storage. And especially whenever you're able to get the free upgrade on the memory, I think they might still have that when it comes to the sales through Samsung. That's going to be a regional thing, depending on where you get your phone at, whether it's Canada, Australia, Germany, whatever. Here in the US, the pre-order deals weren't the greatest, but it did give you free double storage. So I got 512 with this. First Android phone I think I've ever had with 512. And I am really happy about it because there's no SD card support for these things anymore. So all that storage goes a long way. You've got the new 8K 30 frames per second, which is pretty neat. I'm not much of an 8K person. You're not going to catch me recording in that anytime soon, but it's pretty neat. So, third favorite thing. I like the expanded features on the camera, the nightography stuff, the night mode, the low light. I took this photo, and I've taken a couple low light photos, which is really, I don't do a lot of that, but I took a picture the other day. Both of my dogs were sleeping. I have two Dobermans, and they were sleeping on top of each other. And there's no filter on here. This was in my room, in my bedroom. There was a light source on the other side, but wow. I mean, it just turned out so good. And the colors are great. My two Dobermans, I've got a fawn color, I've got a traditional black and brown one. It looked great. So I've been happy with that. I really want to do some photography type stuff, but I think the cameras look pretty darn good. I mean, this is just daytime, but as far as taking some pictures with my puppy, she's fantastic. She's a little pill is what she is. But and also I've got my other Doberman here, Heidi, and she's the fawn colored one. I think they did a good job with the camera. I think it's not just a pretty face and with some lipstick on it. When you talk about the 200 megapixel camera, I think this does have the ability to take some pretty good photos. Now, it still does have some shutter lag. It has some really long processing time, especially for the 50 and the 200 megapixel photos, especially at nighttime. But I think there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I think they've got some pretty good optimization, especially with the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, the new image signal processor. And you're going to see this get better over time. See, we had some great camera shots with the 108 megapixel they used for a couple phones. Starting with the new one, by time this sees another year of life in it, it's going to be a better camera than it was from the get-go. So that's good. So, other thing I like, the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2. Power, efficiency, battery, all of those things combined into one because it gives you better battery life, better standby time. And the standby time is important. With my S22 Ultra, standby time was not good. It would have a lot of battery drain even when you weren't using it. So reduction, mostly a large elimination of battery drain. You can run things and you can play games, you can watch videos, you can do whatever you want. It pretty much never heats up. So I'm happy about that. I think they've done a good job. And again, I'm not using it in the light performance mode either. I'm using it standard performance profile, and it's really good. So, trying to think what else. Oh, the screen. I love the screen. Yes, it's not 2000 nits brightness. It's 1750. But to me, this screen is the top notch. Samsung makes the best panels, even though you get 2000. I mean, not even air quotes, but you get 2000 peak with the auto brightness outdoors with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's great and all. This one looks just as good, and it looks better. The color saturation, everything. Samsung makes the best screens. They make their screens for everybody else, including the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So, yeah, this right here, it's just it's a fantastic phone. There's not really a whole lot of bad stuff to say about it other than it's $1,199, which I hate that it costs so much, but it is a very good phone. And then last but not least, the S Pen. I mean, we can't neglect the S Pen. Now, even though I don't use it a lot, whenever I want to use it, it's there. And I've been making some thumbnails on here. I do like making thumbnails better still on my Z Fold 4. But these guys are basically the originator of the smartphone stylus. And it's been around for a long time. The Note is the OG. It's been around for so long. And yeah, it's really just something you can't dismiss. I like having it in there. Yes, I don't use it necessarily all the time, but again, like I said, when I want to use it, it is there, and that's a big reason to buy this phone, other than just everything else. I mean, of course, some people like to have a big, gigantic phone, but what's better than a big, gigantic phone and also having an internal stylus you can use that's very complimentary, and it really ties in the package. So all those things are really the favorite things I like on this phone. Oh, last but not least, Dolby Atmos. So if you have this phone, go to your drop-down settings, go to the next menu over, you'll see an icon for Dolby Atmos. It really is a game changer. It makes the sound better, especially with earbuds. If you're using earbuds, night and day difference, more power, better detail. It's like an extended boost. It's like turning an amplifier on with your audio, and it's really a big deal when it comes to your earbuds. So I know I talked about a lot of things here, but those are the favorite things that I have with this phone. I've been using it for a week. I'll have my full review in about another week. I'm going to New York this week, and I'm going to try and take some photos. It looks like it's going to be kind of rainy while I'm there, but I'll see what I can get done, and looking forward to spending some more time with this phone. But if you've got one, I'm sure you're enjoying it, and if you're looking to get one, hopefully this video provides some good insight and information on the things I like about it that might be helpful for you in your decision-making process. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, then please go into the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, if you like this stuff, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.